Okay, a lot to get through today. The leaks surrounding the new Modern Warfare game and Warzone 2 have been crazy. So let's just start with Neroscinema's video that he released a few days ago that leaked a lot of details about Warzone 2 that a lot of people were skeptical about because Nero doesn't typically speak on leaks and his inside source was unverified. Then Tom Henderson tweets out that a lot of what Nero was saying was true, and Tom Henderson has a verified inside source. After Nero's video dropped, Tom Henderson dropped an article on xputer.com that gives the whole rundown of what's going on with Warzone 2. And Tom Henderson says, quote, "To be honest, the new Warzone 2 map looks more like Blackout than it does Warzone in terms of its layout. It's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out," end quote. And it's true because I have a mock-up of somebody who play tested Warzone 2 of the map for Warzone 2, and I'll post it up here. To be honest, the map layout does look very similar to Blackout's map layout as well, with, you know, the body of water running through. I think we'll see the return of the swimming mechanic, maybe. You know, who really knows? It's definitely less dense, I guess, less packed than Verdansk, and more like naturalistic and spread out, which was kind of the design logic of the Blackout map. But yeah, I can see where Tom Anderson is coming from. In this article, Tom goes on to state that Terminal, High Rise, Quarry, and Afghan are POIs in Warzone 2's map, which makes sense because this Warzone 2 will be coming out shortly after Modern Warfare Roman numeral 2, which will contain several remakes of the 2009 OG Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer maps. So to integrate that into the Warzone 2 map makes a lot of sense. High Rise is at the top right of the map called, quote, Modern City, end quote, which is a city with a lot of skyscrapers. And then Quarry is at the top left of the map called Quarry. Terminal is at the bottom right of the map called Airport. It has a big stronghold in it. And I recommend you watch Nero's video because he talks a lot about the stronghold system and how you get loadouts and such. Afghan is near the middle of the map but slightly to the left, and it's called Caves. POI called Mountain Town is next to an observatory. There's a train that goes around the map, much like the train in Verdansk. And there are 25 to 30 strongholds around the map, each guarded with AI with objectives in them. There's different difficulties to them, and they reward things like loadouts, which it sounds like you have to complete them to get loadouts. This isn't in the article, but it's important to note that they have tried to make changes to the loadout system before with Caldera, but they have changed it due to backlash, which is true because, you know, it used to be like a certain amount of time had to pass before you get your loadout, and they reverted that change after much complaining. But I think what's going to soften the blow on this is that what I think they're going to do, this is speculation, it's not confirmed. What I think they're going to do, separate out loadouts and custom weapon drops. That's how Call of Duty Mobile does it. They have this system where you build a weapon with the 5 attachments as normal. That would be what you would buy from buy stations, so you can have access to your custom weapons. But if you want the full loadout with the secondary weapon, the perks, the tacticals and lethals, that's when you go and do a stronghold. I think that's what they're going to do to soften the blow. And it makes sense to take inspiration from COD Mobile because that's also the other billion-dollar game right now in the COD series. So it just makes sense to me. Warzone 2 and DMZ mode for Modern Warfare Roman numeral 2 share the same map. This has been previously reported on and claimed not to be the case by another leaker, which I think this other leaker is getting information that DMZ is multiple maps. The thing is that they can still be, Warzone 2 and DMZ mode can still be on the same map, but DMZ is, you don't play the entire map, but instead it's the Warzone 2 map split into parts, which I think would make sense because an extraction game doesn't require like a super large map. So I think what they're going to do is like how Outbreak mode was like the Blackout 2 map split into parts. I think that's what they're going to do with the Warzone 2 map, but you'll actually be able to play the full map in Warzone 2, and then you play the split apart sections for the more hardcore focused slowed down DMZ mode in Modern Warfare Roman numeral 2. I think that is the skinny on that article. And shortly after the article was released, there was a leaked video, some 144p resolution gameplay footage of what is supposedly Warzone 2. I can't show the whole gameplay footage, but I can show you a screenshot of one of the weapons that is confirmed to be coming to both Modern Warfare Roman numeral 2 and Warzone 2, and that is the AK-103. So this is basically the 21st century AKM. The only things that have changed are the plastics on furniture, the side folding stock, and the dovetail side mount. The gun will probably act very similarly to other 7.62 AKs we've encountered in CODs through the times. Higher punch, higher recoil, average handling. Seeing this makes me hope that you could kit this to resemble the Finnish service weapon RK95TP. And then also in the video, the PP19 Vitesse is shown, and that is basically the MP5 of the AK platform. Shooting a pistol cartridge, the weapon is probably going to act similarly to the PP Bison, which we do have in Modern Warfare 2019, whilst having better ergonomics. In addition, the PP19 isn't far off from the Bison already, and could probably be turned into one with an ammo plus magazine conversion. I wager that this has SMG average handling, very slight recoil, and very average damage model. Finally, the third weapon we see in the leaked video is, of course, the classic M4A1, which I imagine is going to be very similar to how that weapon was represented in Modern Warfare 2019, because that is, you know, a Modern Warfare staple, so I don't think that gun would be removed in any capacity. So, final thoughts. This is definitely shaping up to be an impressive amount of content on launch, with campaign, multiplayer, and DMZ, and then shortly after launch, Warzone 2. You know, from what we see of the leaked gameplay footage, the weapon inspection is even more detailed than it was before. There's like subtle camera movements. It's just a longer animation too, and that's just for the default weapons. I mean, who knows what we're gonna see with the fancy, you know, ultra tier blueprints, or, you know, they'll probably wait up on the goofy cosmetics until like the Halloween event and such. But I think that, you know, this season of Call of Duty coming up in the fall is going to be one of the biggest yet. So there's some Warzone 2 information. Finally, you know, we've been kind of sitting around for it. Make sure you like the video, hit the notification bell, and subscribe to the channel for more Call of Duty content.